everybody, and welcome back to a Seatbelt. My name is Edinger, and the Christmas tree is up. Alright, I might not have it up for the next couple videos that I have pre-filmed, but this video also comes complete with an Artie. Hello, little boy. He's having a little nap back there, so, oi, nice cuddly vibes. I made a video last week where I told you I used to be a Republican, and you guys sure had a lot to say about that. The seatbelt argument is the same line of thinking that people seem to apply to masks. Regardless of whether or not they think it's helpful, they won't do it because someone told them to. It's so weird to me. Is it really weird to you? I feel like this is something that makes a lot of sense. Did you not ever experience this? As a child, your mom says to wash your hands, and you're like, okay, you go to the bathroom and you pretend to wash your hands, you just get them wet, and then she smells your hand, does a hand check, and you're like, oh man, I got caught. Because you don't want to because she told you to. Obviously, you're like, oh, I'll do it normally, I guess I should wash my hands, but she tells me to, I'm not doing it. A lot of people are children. He's sleeping through my loud voice. That's pretty nice. Funny how the claims you brought up from like 2009 are still things I hear word for word from my conservative parents. It's such an echo chamber that never progresses. That is one of the weirdest things that I experienced when I read that status, because I was like, what? The money-hungry liberals and the global elites? It was so strange. I've already seen that stuff from people these days, and I was like, how is it the same exact thing? It's the same conspiracy theory with a different color stroke of the brush, really. I do find it weird that so many of these conspiracy theories all come back to the whole, like, the global elites of all the countries, they want to enforce their will on the American people and form a global government. And it's like, what do you mean? Do you not understand how diplomacy works? Do you understand, like, the UN, for instance? It's a lot of people that are like, America first, that have never left the States, that have no experience outside of their own, country / state-run propaganda, and that's what you're gonna get. The sad thing is, it really doesn't surprise me that that type of rhetoric is flourishing in the US, because it's a country that really promotes that philosophy and bombastic narrative that they are the greatest. So why would we want anyone else's input? We're the greatest, and what's it like over there? I don't know. Do you have internet over there? Do you guys have Wi-Fi? What? Since when is Germany in the West? What? I know it's just his light. Wow, referring to me in the third person. You're a subscriber of mine? You gonna talk to me like that? I thought we were friends. I know it's just my light. Thank you. God. I know it's just his light reflecting off the window, but for the night setup, I will continue to make it a moon in my mind. It is a moon. That's a big moon back there. Actually, one of you, I believe Lena, had an even more insightful comment on my big moon back there. I love how it looks like the moon is staring in your window. It's the hidden planet. I was right. I'm so sorry. Obama was wrong. Those are both wrong. Both of those sentences. What did I want to say? I mess up so many times between takes in these videos, man. I really wish with a video like this, I should script it or maybe plan it. I'm still thrown by the seatbelt law thing. I did not know this was a real thing that people cared about. Yeah, you'd be surprised all the weird and crazy things that people do care about that they really shouldn't, like that. Especially something that genuinely will save your life and has no negative repercussions. However, it's a similar vein, but you might have heard motorcyclists in the States will complain about certain states having helmet laws. Because if you get thrown from your motorcycle and you're not wearing a helmet, you will die. Like, there's really such a tiny chance of you surviving that. You crack your noggin, goodbye, you're gone. And yet 3 states, Illinois, Iowa, and New Hampshire, have no helmet laws. So if you're a dude with your little Harley Davidson, you could rock up and be like, yeah, don't have to wear one of those helmets looking like a woman, right? Because helmets make us look like other gender. Just be safe. The government's taking away my right to die. I wish they would. I wish they just kill you. Oh, maybe not. Maybe don't put that in. Put that whole thing in, though. Including me going, maybe don't put that in. Oh, that's what she said to me last night, you know what I'm saying? And by she, I mean... No, there's no Shane Dawson jokes here, okay? That's a male cat. Tomcat. I like how as well, I'm still thrown by the seatbelt law thing. If you were thrown by the seatbelt law thing, you wouldn't be thrown because you'd be wearing a seatbelt, right? Don't be thrown. I always find that whenever I've heard Alex Jones or another conspiracy theorist say globalist, they're still just talking about Americans. What do you mean? You trying to tell me that the World Series isn't the world? Same with Obama trying to hide a secret planet. It's like, you think every other country in the world is just gonna ignore a new planet in the solar system? Yeah, that is the biggest, red flag for me. Whenever one of these conspiracy theories pop up, I'm like, you guys know that there are, hundreds of countries in the world, right? All of them. And you're saying that all of them and all of the people that work for them and all of their, prime ministers and governments and bodies and citizens, all of them are in on this. Against you, Lil Podonk Larry, living out of his papa's shed in Illinois. I don't think so. let's try and use the noggins a little bit. But if all of your experience is just based on one country and all of your news is just based on your own country and you really don't have any information, everything over there is just so foreign that you'll be like, yes, they're all out to get us. And it sounds crazy once you open your eyes, but it's really hard to really get out of that hole. That's another reason why I just can't take flat earthers seriously, because it's like, guys, the whole like Australia isn't a thing, it doesn't exist. It's like, are you just trying to get someone to fly you out for free? To be like, hey, stupid, look, yet again, I shouldn't be calling people stupid, but also, it's really hard. This video is great. It's like the acknowledgement that our beliefs, political or otherwise, should change and evolve as we get older and gain a different perspective on the world. It doesn't mean that our previous beliefs/opinions were necessarily wrong, but that our experiences will shape us and our priorities will shift. I think there's a lot of expectation that people should know exactly who they are, what is right, as soon as they're adults, but you change hugely over time, especially in your late teens/early 20s. For me now at 25, I would hugely disagree with myself at 18 on so many topics. Same. Obviously, that doesn't make my 18 self an idiot or a bad person, just young and without much exposure to the world beyond my hometown and social circle. An incredibly good comment. Thank you, Medinsky. Don't really have much to add to that except that is just a really perfect comment on this. Just because you were wrong before doesn't make you stupid or an idiot or gullible or anything. It's just, you learn, you grow. You shouldn't expect yourself to think those same things, and you shouldn't be mean to yourself for that. Like, I'm not like thinking about myself in the past going, oh, I was so dumb for thinking that. No, I really wasn't. I was just someone that was, like I said, hyper into myself and thinking this has got to be the right answer because it's not what all the other people are talking about. This one must be right. Visiting other countries and experiencing cultures, no longer than just for a holiday/vacation, should be mandatory in my opinion. A lot of people can't afford that though. I'd be all for if holidays were government subsidized. Yeah, that's always the argument. Like, I didn't bring this up much in my video. I talked about going to college as a big reason that helped me, but obviously moving to the UK was a huge deal. Traveling and visiting other countries was a huge thing. You really just start to see yourself as much smaller and more insignificant in the realm of global affairs, and also your home country as just one small piece of the puzzle. It's almost like when you're studying other religions and you realize, like, what makes mine special? Like, how am I right? You stop thinking about it like that and just start thinking, well, this is how I feel, and other people can also have other feelings, other people can believe things, and that's okay. And then you become empathetic, you begin to accept other people, and that's basically what traveling is, but it is so difficult, okay? I know that's such an easy thing to be like, just travel. America doesn't really have that many close by countries that you can visit for cheap, and considering the fact that so many Americans are in poverty, especially in a lot of red areas that are going to be believing a lot of these conspiracy theories, you're not really to expect these people to go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go on holiday. No, because they're American. They'd say they're going on vacation. But also, it would be really nice if government mandated holidays to another country, but the US would never, ever do that, because that would kind of break their whole system in a way. I think a lot of companies in Germany, or maybe it's in Sweden, they mandate and they actually will pay for you to go on holiday, the companies that you work for, so that's good. Maybe one day, some of those companies will come to the US and help out the US. That'd be nice. The growing super right-wing political news is seriously scary. There was a rally in DC with all these people who believed the election was rigged. Truly, people are so willing to believe the outrageous media fed to them online. Well, Katie, I wouldn't even say that they're being fed this as much as they're actively seeking out this stuff to be fed, which is even worse in a way. It's not like they're just believing anything they see. It's just they're only believing things that they already agree with, and they're seeking out people whose opinions are going further and further and further away from actual reality to be like, yes, I'm following this news source because they're saying the election is rigged, even though bipartisanly it's been proven that there is no substantiated evidence. I mean, the election was not rigged in the slightest, especially because how many people would have to be involved in that? But that's not something they want to hear, and so they'll just seek out these OANNs, or as basically Super Fox at this point, because Fox wasn't hardcore enough. Something I don't know if you guys have heard about yet, by the way, but like 3 years ago, there was a viral video showing all of the Murdoch media, all the Fox News small town news channels, basically repeating the same exact point about, hey guys, so the media is under fire and we'll always tell you the truth. And it was really, really creepy. And every person I know basically shared that 3 years ago. It seems that the right wing on the internet has just recently found this video to be like, ugh, isn't this ridiculous? It's so apparent that all these media guys are all against us to paint this negative narrative. And whenever anyone points out, like, you know that these are just right-wing people, right? And this was Fox News. They'd go, no, it's definitely on both sides, though. And so people would reply saying, what do you mean? This is clearly just one. They're like, no, without evidence. It's both sides though. It's like you just genuinely can't possibly remove the blinders from your own worldview because they're on so far. That's why it's so hard to get out of that tunnel. It's funny from the outside, but also genuinely sad. The amount of times I've heard people cite Facebook as their source is truly frightening. You know what? It's like that point that I brought up in the last video, but anytime you try and call people out on like, this isn't a real source, this is someone on Facebook who could be anyone, this hasn't been peer reviewed, this isn't legitimate, they will then just say, well, of course not, because the big media and all the entire world are against us and they're not going to actually report on it. And they just gullibly take any bit of information and any source they can to reaffirm what they already believe. I don't know how to fix that problem, except maybe in high school, God, I wish, obviously college as well, but high school, there should be mandatory education revolving around critical thinking in terms of checking your sources. I mean, I had to do research papers in school and I wasn't able to just use Wikipedia. I had to go to the library and get different books and different articles, and that was important. Are they still doing that these days in America? Anyone? Americans in the comments, please tell me. I know I have viewers on both sides of the political spectrum, so no matter what side you fall on, just make sure if you see something online, make sure it's verified by an actual source. Because you don't know what people are saying online these days. People could say anything. Like I said, those light beings, I'm waiting for that conspiracy to blow up, okay? Obama lied to us. Wow, Evan is the spitting image of his dad. So, you used to favor ending the monarchy? How Brits here, Republican. I didn't know that was a thing until the comments on this video that were like, wait, what? The monarchy? So a Republican in the UK favors ending the monarchy. I guess that makes sense, because monarchy is... Most of the stuff I learned about forms of government like that, I learned from the Civilization franchise. By the way, please don't forget that Obama wants you to subscribe to my channel, please. Make sure you join the family. Also, we got... Don't be fooled, comment kids. Liberal and let fist are not synonyms. Well, yeah, because one's liberal and one's something you do with your girlfriend at night. You know what I'm saying, boys? I don't know. Do you think your math professor radicalized you in college? Well, if you did anything with square roots, they probably tried. This is a very, very underappreciated joke. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Goran. That's beautiful. Beautiful math jokes. I love it. I can't get over Evan's attention to detail in the Seatbelt Laws skit. He even put the shoulder of the opposite character in the frame while one had their little piece. Thank you for noticing. I was really happy about that as well, especially because they're both me. That was just fellow YouTuber and friend of mine, Bliss. I just had her sit in the chair and just put on my jacket. Basically, as soon as I finished filming the one side, we just switched. I was like, put on my jacket, boom, sit there. Mwah. I was very happy with that, so thank you very much for all the kind comments. I really love making skits and sketches like that because I find it really challenges me and allows me to use my camera and my production ability to make something much cooler than a static shot. So I'm hoping to do a lot more of that in the future. All the comments that were saying that you feel like I found my style in a way because I like integrating those in. Thank you. That is what I'm trying to do more. I just need to do more. How South Jersey of you. Central Jersey has always been left-leaning. Central Jersey has never existed, so it's weird that you would say it's left-leaning. Even if you look at this map of the 2020 presidential election, what seemingly you might refer to as central if you didn't realize it's just in the north, is pretty darn red, all right? It looks pretty red to me. But yes, I am that red county in the bottom left, so sad. Also, Gloucester County, which is right next to it, that one was 52% blue. Very nearly. So crazy how tight that race was. Hey, Evan, I meant to put this on your last video. I honestly feel like through the comments and your videos, you are a friend of mine. Obviously not someone I'm very close with, but when you open up about your insecurities and are honest about your struggles or even show your flatmates, it feels like I'm not so alone. You and your content has helped me a lot over the years. You genuinely seem like an incredible person. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I remember when I first started watching vloggers that would do videos like every single day, and at one point I remember someone I watched had his car broken into, and I got really upset about it because I was like, oh gosh, that really sucks. And I remember someone I was working with was like, oh, why do you look so upset? And I was like, oh, my friend's car got broken into, because I didn't know how else to explain it. But these days I feel like I would be too embarrassed to be like, a YouTuber I watched had something bad happen and I got sad. But I don't know, you get really connected to people you spend so much of your time watching that yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm glad that I've been there for you. That's very kind of you to say. And I'm glad to help you not feel so alone. There are loads of anti-vax people on both sides of the loony spectrum. I know some people who are very into alternative medicine because it's healthier for you, and they're incredibly anti-vax and yet very liberal. Yeah, that's a really good comment to bring up, because I do know some people that are very liberal that also believe in all that alternative medicine stuff where it's just not real. Like, I feel like you can do that type of thing as long as it's not hurting anyone, sure, but absolutely just believe in science regardless of what side you fall on, please. Like, science is there for a reason. It's like the best invention we've ever come up with as a society to kind of learn from our mistakes, and coming up with random things like, I think this makes me feel better because it's a pretty rock, is not helping us go anywhere. Can you guys say goodbye to Artie? Artie, you want to give him a nice little goodbye? Have a little nap? Thank you guys so much for watching today's community video. I very much appreciate it. I'll see you on Sunday with another video. Goodbye.
Hello, buddy. Hello, my little nugget. Nice big pet for you. Sweet dreams of biscuits. Lovely biscuits and gravy. Yum, yum, yum.